Have you ever looked up from your phone and realized an hour has just vanished? Or felt like your phone owns you and not the other way around? Well, today we're diving into a really powerful way to rethink our relationship with technology, all based on Cal Newport's fantastic book, Digital Minimalism. We're kicking things off with this idea from Henry David Thoreau, because honestly, it's the key to everything. He's asking us to measure cost not in money, but in something way more valuable: our time, our attention, basically in units of our life. So keep that in the back of your mind. How much of our life are we trading away for our digital habits? So how did we even get to this point? First, we've got to understand the problem, which Cal Newport calls a fight that most of us don't even realize we're in. You know, it's kind of wild to think about how much the smartphone has changed. When Steve Jobs first showed off the iPhone, he basically called it a great iPod that also made phone calls. Its killer app was literally just making a call. It was a tool. Fast forward to today, and that thing in your pocket is an always-on portal to a non-stop storm of distraction. And get this, that wasn't just some marketing spin. One of the original iPhone engineers confirmed it. The whole plan was simple: music and calls. In fact, Steve Jobs was dead set against the idea of an app store at first. He was worried some, quote, knucklehead programmer would make an app that crashed the phone right when you needed to call 911. So yeah, this overwhelming digital world in our pocket was never part of the original blueprint. And here's the bottom line. We've gone from using a simple tool to being soldiers on a digital battlefield. On one side, you have thousands of the world's smartest engineers using supercomputers to design things that are precision engineered to grab and hold our focus. And on the other side, well, there's just us. It's no wonder it feels like we're losing. Okay, so if it's an arms race, what are the weapons being used against us? To really get that, we need to pull back the curtain on the business model that fuels this whole thing. I think we've all been there, right? You know you should put the phone down, get back to work, or talk to the person in front of you, but you just can't. You keep scrolling. Does that just mean we all have zero willpower, or is something else going on? Turns out, it's not just you. Psychologists have a name for this: behavioral addiction. It's a real thing. It works just like a slot machine. You get these little rewards at unpredictable times, which makes you want to keep pulling the lever, or in our case, keep refreshing the feed. That little red notification dot, that's not there by accident. And here's the twist. This addictive quality, this thing that makes it so hard to look away, it's not a bug. It's the most important feature. It's literally how these companies make their money. Welcome to the attention economy. It's a pretty simple three-step model. First, you get a giant audience by offering something free. Then, you do everything you can to keep that audience staring at their screens for as many minutes as possible. Finally, you sell those minutes of attention to the highest bidder: advertisers. The services are free because we aren't the customers. Our attention is the product. And just how valuable is our attention? Well, let's put it in perspective. Back in 2018, the value of Google and Facebook completely dwarfed a company like ExxonMobil. Think about that. It's become way more profitable to mine our attention than it is to drill for oil. Your attention really is the new oil. Okay, so that's the problem. And yeah, it's a pretty big one. But now let's shift gears and talk about the solution. It's a whole new way of thinking, a philosophy for not just surviving, but actually thriving in this new world. Newport calls this solution digital minimalism. And no, it's not about becoming a hermit and throwing your phone into a river. It's a philosophy of being intentional. It's about taking back the controls and asking one very simple, very powerful question about every app, every website, every notification. Is this the absolute best use of my life right now? And this brings us right back to Thoreau. See, standard economics says a farmer should work 60 acres, not one, because it makes more money. Simple. But Thoreau's new economics asks a different question. Is the benefit, maybe slightly nicer blinds for your house, really worth trading a whole lifetime of stress and hard labor? He forces us to switch the currency we're using from dollars to life. So let's be super clear. This is not about hating technology. It's about being ruthless. It's about clearing out all the low-value digital clutter so you have the time and energy for the high-value stuff, the things that technology can do that are truly amazing. And, more importantly, for a life that's lived outside the screen. All right, that's the philosophy. But what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's get into some practical things you can do to start reclaiming your time and attention. The first big practice is reclaiming solitude.
Now, solitude doesn't just mean being alone in a room. It means being free from the input of other people's minds, a state that, let's be honest, is incredibly rare today. You can start small. Go for a walk and leave your phone at home. No podcast, no music, just you and your thoughts. Or try this. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb by default. Let text messages become something you check on your schedule, not something that interrupts you.
So, once you've cleared out some of that noise and made some space in your life, what do you fill it with? Well, Teddy Roosevelt had a pretty good idea. He was all about the active, challenging life over a life of just passive comfort. And that brings us to the second practice, reclaiming high-quality leisure. This is all about trading passive consumption, like mindlessly scrolling Instagram or binge-watching a show, for active creation. Learn to play the guitar, fix that wobbly chair in your kitchen, build something. There's this deep satisfaction that comes from making something real with your hands, because you can't fake it. A shelf is either level or it's not. And that's really the whole point of this. Digital minimalism isn't about deprivation. It's about substitution. It's about swapping the digital junk food that leaves you feeling anxious and empty for real, high-quality activities that actually align with your values and bring you joy. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. The average person spends hours a day on their phone. If you could reclaim just one of those hours every single day, what would you do with it? What skill would you learn? What would you build? Who would you connect with? The answer to that question? Well, that's the starting point for choosing a more focused life.